What do psychedelics have to teach us? My name's Sue Blackmore. I'm a visiting professor at the University of Plymouth in England. Psychedelics are remarkable. You take an extract from a cactus, some leaves or buds, some extract from a vine, or a tiny, tiny piece of paper with hundreds of micrograms of a purely synthetic chemical, and everything changes. Everything changes. The outside world changes. The things we look at seem completely different. My hand has suddenly become something really strange. The lines are all moving and the mounds are growing, and it's so fascinating. Or this table is becoming alive and it's even speaking to me. It has something to say. It's communicating. And the inside world has changed as well. Instead of feeling a secure person who is in charge of their thoughts, it's all happening and I don't even know who I am. Psychedelics even threaten the distinction between the outside and the inside. Non-duality can arise. Amazing apparent insights into interconnectedness. Everything's one. Everything's love. It's all But are these real insights? That's what I want to know. I've been lucky with my psychedelic experiences. I've had wonderful guides who have helped me to use them the best way they can be used. I've had clean drugs. I've had the right set and setting. I don't even take them terribly often. Typically, there may be months or even years between, say, 2 acid trips. They take a long time to work through. But what's going on here? I want to take you back to the early 1970s when I was a student and just to wear all my hippie stuff. And I had some amazing experiences, first with cannabis, then LSD, psilocybin, mescaline. And I jumped to a lot of conclusions, which I wouldn't share now. I began to believe, I was absolutely convinced in the existence of telepathy and clairvoyance and psychokinesis and poltergeists and ghosts and life after death and consciousness beyond and more. And I began to do research on that. And as a student, I was the one who would do your tarot reading for you. I would take the yarrow stalks and throw them for the I Ching. Or I would gaze into my crystal ball and see amazing things in it. I wanted to prove to the world that all these things showed worlds beyond. But I'd failed. Nearly 10 years later, with a PhD in parapsychology, I'd came to the conclusion, as I do now, that all of this is a red herring. These conclusions that we jump to are false. These ideas about consciousness beyond the brain, life after death, mind carrying on when the body's dead, they are vacuous. This is the real problem. They don't have any theoretical underpinning. What is this amazing consciousness beyond? They don't make any testable predictions. We need to do our research and ask these questions some other way. So how? Well, back then, in the early 70s, there was EEG, but there weren't all the wonderful brain scans and the techniques that we can use now. And there's been prohibition all this time. That makes it really hard to do research. But prohibition is teetering, maybe going to collapse. And in any case, some research is being allowed. And what we can do now and are doing is finding out what's going on inside a brain when people are having these extraordinary experiences. How do they correlate? Can we then say, well, can we find out whether any of those insights are true? Is the effect of psychedelics to really help us see more clearly the way the world is and who we are? Or is it just the effects of chemicals disturbing our brains so they're not working properly and these are not really insights at all? Or could it actually be that both are true? That in our ordinary life, the problems that we have, the delusions we're under, and I'm an illusionist about consciousness. I think consciousness is an illusion or even a delusion. This may be because our brains naturally build up a sense of a firm, persisting, conscious self with free will, and it is false. And so when these drugs remarkably change all that, and it's no longer possible for the brain to build this illusion, do we see more clearly? That's a possibility. But we don't know, and we won't know until we do more research. And that is why I'm so excited about the next few years of research on psychedelics. Thank you.